Hey everyone, welcome to the live today. How's everyone doing? The weather is fantastic where I live. I'm waiting on my moderator to jump up here in my TikTok. How's everyone doing? Hi, Christine. Everyone, we've been chatting a little bit before the show. Hi, Jill.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Having a good day?
Well, let me turn off the sound and yes.
Good. Good to see your face.
I don't. Oh, hold on. I know what's going on.
Hello, Sierra, Brad, Andrea, Karen, Christine, Gerald. Dying Breed, how are you, sir? Vicky. The Biff Tanner of TikTok. I'm not the Biff. I'm not the Biff of TikTok. I'm a nice guy. I just pick on you. Hi, Eggy. Call me the Biff Tanner. Man. I got some interesting stuff today. Real quick, the Dow down 120, oil's still at $70, natural gas up at $3.95, gas prices up half a penny to $3.15 and a half, and RBOB 225, which means gas is going to continue to rise. Man, that took all of 8 seconds. Jill, have you ever? I have to find out. Okay, let me.
Okay.
You're gonna have to look on my YouTube screen.
I am looking at it.
Okay.
Because of the chats on there.
Have you ever? Let me blow this picture up.
Okay, now remember it's like 30 seconds behind.
30 seconds?
Yeah, something like that. Like 15, 30 seconds. It's behind.
Okay.
So you go ahead. You do that, and then as soon as I see it, I'll let you know.
Ahmed says, Mr. Global, you were right about everything. Thank you, Ahmed. I want you guys to look at this. This is coming out. I'm going to give you a few seconds for it to hit your screen. This is coming out. Frida is putting this out.
It's there.
Barrister would probably love this.
Ew! Oh my god!
Okay. This is a new thing. It's 2025. Okay. So keep an open mind. Frida is coming out with breast milk flavored ice cream.
No, it doesn't say flavored. It says breast milk ice cream. So
Okay.
it's not flavored.
It is flavored because I read.
Okay.
You can't see it because it's on my YouTube. It's on my YouTube live. I can't put it up here. This would get shut off.
You have to go to YouTube and
It,
check it out.
okay. It doesn't have real milk in it. I read the whole piece on it. So this is just flavored. Even though it doesn't say it, it's not made out of real, that would, that would take a lot of pumps to manufacture enough of that ice cream to feed the world or whoever's going to be buying this. Has great reviews so far. I I won't be trying. I personally
Pass for me, yes.
I will not be trying the the Frida breast milk flavored ice cream. That's not a thing. I'm not doing that. Although under the right conditions and with the right amount of Hershey's syrup and me under the influence of the right things, it's possible I could try it. I will admit that. But normally, this a hard pass. So think about this. Someone came up with this idea. Brian, I can see your comments. Someone came up with this idea and presented it to someone else at Frida, which is a fairly large company, right? Someone came up with this idea and presented it and said, let's sell breast flavored ice cream. And then those someones said, okay, let's do that. And it is a limited edition, if that helps.
Well, I mean, it doesn't help.
It doesn't help? You don't want limited edition?
I don't want anything. Like, it shouldn't even. Okay, never mind. Maybe people like it. I don't know.
Okay, what about this? What if they got Dolly Parton to be the spokeswoman and she autographed some of these?
I still
Like,
it's still a hard pass for me. Like, no.
someone said whatever floats their boat. What about this in a root beer float? Breast milk flavored ice cream root beer float. Is it for babies? Look at the size of that cup. Does that look like it's for a baby? Like, that's a whole scoop just on the top. Like, there's a significant portion there. Like, that is an adult portion for sure. Now,
And it's only flavored, so it wouldn't be for babies.
right. There is. I was going to see if anyone noticed that, and Joe noticed it.
Yes.
There's literally a nipple on the carton. Oh boy. And I have, look. Bruiser said there's no flavor. I guess she's already tried it. I don't know. But yeah, that's welcome to 2025. Welcome to 2025.
I did not have this on my bingo card.
I know. What? Hey, how did that start? Am I supposed to be carrying a bingo card around with me? Because every day someone says that. I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Yeah, you have to have a bingo card, and every time you get bingo, you can tell the last person that you gave you a bingo, be like, bingo, you gave me a bingo. That's how dumb you are.
JJ says, I'd buy that for $1. And when I read it, I heard John Wayne. So thank you for that. Well, I'd buy that for $1. Let's move. You know what? Let's get rid.
Yes.
Let's delete. Where is the remove button? Oh my gosh, there it is. Okay.
No, it's really tiny up in the corner.
Yeah, now it's gone.
Okay.
Does it come in chocolate? You know, I don't even know if I want to go down that road.
Almond chocolate. I love that.
I don't even want to go down that road. I'm going to say no, it does not come in chocolate. Whew. Okay. Now, here's the question. Is the Trump administration trying to fudge the GDP numbers? So when GDP now came out, was like a month ago, 6 weeks ago, whenever it was, and they were predicting a huge contraction in our economy, a 2.8% negative GDP growth. As you can see, I've got this right up here. And as soon as they came out with that, the Republicans came out and said, we'll just have to change the way we figure the GDP. Well, that's happening. So this is the current GDP now. And can you guys see my little arrow? Do you guys get to see that? I don't know if you can. But if you look at the very bottom, there's the line. That's the GDP number. And to the far right, about a fourth of the way up from the bottom, you see a dotted number or a dotted line. That is the alternative GDP calculation method that they just came up with. And they're saying it's adjusted for gold. I don't know what that means. But they're saying under the alternative method for calculating GDP, and look, I've looked at these things for a couple of years, so this isn't something that I've looked at for 10 years and am just super knowledgeable in. I just go look at it occasionally if things start looking bad or if they're looking really good. I've never seen this alternative method to calculating the GDP. All I know is that it was really bad, and the Republicans said we need to come up with a new way to calculate GDP, and bam, suddenly here it is on the GDP Now website. Gold adjusted GDP Now. And at the current alternative method for calculating the GDP, it's forecasting a 0.2% growth. I don't know if this is an actual thing. Like, I don't know. That's the thing with me. I don't know if this is the proper way to do this or if they're actually fudging the numbers. Like they literally came out and said, we'll just change the way we calculate it. I don't know enough about GDP and how it's calculated to understand if this is a scam or if this is something they've actually done in the past. But I've never seen it before.
I feel like they are up to something with like crypto or something.
Well, that's my sense, but I don't want to come out and say that because I don't have enough knowledge in this. All I can say, my anecdotal experience, I've never seen this line on a GDP chart. I have never seen this one time ever. And suddenly it pops up here just days before we end the quarter and these GDP numbers are going to come out. So Gerald says imports are deducted from GDP. In recent months, large quantities of gold have been brought into the United States from Switzerland. Okay. So the question we all want to know, Gerald, is this legitimate? Because I'm not going to say it's not legitimate because I don't know, right? But it is strange. Like, I've never seen it before, but me not seeing it doesn't mean anything. So if someone knows about this stuff, that we rely on people that know things, right? People rely on me to know about oil and gas. I rely on other people to know about things like this. I don't know. This is not my area of expertise, so I'm not going to say this is something when I don't know if it is or it's not. I'm just saying it looks suspicious to me.
Yes. Suspicious. It definitely does.
So Gerald says gold is not an economic good, so it should not be counted. So it'll be interesting This looks similar to when Trump took the marker and redrew the weather map. Yes, it kind of does. Like, because they've just added another line and said, this is what it is. Robert Rogers says adjustments for gold imports and exports in standard GDP now model, alternative model beginning March the 6th. Well, this is the first time I've seen it. I looked at it. I looked at it yesterday, I think, and it wasn't on there, or it was either yesterday or the day before. So if there's anybody that actually has a fair amount of knowledge in this, enough to guide us in the right direction. You don't have to be an expert on GDP, but if you know anything about it, maybe Joe Boo knows about it. Maybe Joe Boo knows about it. If he shows up, keep an eye out. If he shows up, we'll ask him about it. Maybe he can. He's kind of like another Wisco. He seems to know a lot of stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I'll send him over to YouTube if he shows up in here so he can see it.
Oh, man. Hey, did you see the new hat in Greenland?
Yes.
Yes. I saw that today. I don't know how popular it is, but I saw it. I'm guessing this hat is going to be in a lot of places. This hat's going to take off in Canada. It's the new MAGA hat for Greenland, and it says "Make America Go Away" because the vice president's wife was up there. Apparently, they spent a fair amount of time, I don't know how much, knocking on doors, trying to get anybody to like come out and meet the vice president's wife and get a photo op or whatever, and nobody would agree to do that. Like nobody wanted to deal with them, which in itself is pretty interesting. Make America Go Away. That's the new MAGA. In Greenland and soon to be Canada, I'm sure. Soon to be Canada. Hi, Joan.
Hi, Joan.
I see Beverly in the chat. Hi, Beverly. Or I see you in the... Hi, Anani. And Nana Han is in here. And lots of Canadian flags. Yes, they ended up canceling the trip.
So, Grace, Pennsylvania didn't go blue yesterday. We have always been purple. But a red area voted blue, yes.
Trump loves gold, especially the golden showers, says Juju. Of course. Oh, my God. Okay. Legitimate question. Breast milk flavored ice cream or golden shower? You gotta pick one.
No, I don't have to pick one. I actually have to pick one. I can say neither.
Okay. Let's say you did have to pick one. I'm not saying you have to pick one.
No, what I'm saying is, how am I having to pick something?
It's pretend. It's pretend. Okay? It's hypothetical. Bruiser said she would use her own if she had to. Because I'm like you. I'm like neither. I'm like neither. But if I had to pick one, it would definitely be the ice cream. That's a no-brainer for me.
Well, yeah, it would have to be the ice cream, but I'm just going with neither. I'm going with neither.
Who's doing the showering? I don't care. Who's doing the showering? Why does that matter?
That doesn't matter.
Like, you are insinuating that there are people that you would allow to whiz on you. That no, that's not a thing.
Lucy said it's a game called Would You Rather. Well, I would rather have neither.
Yes. 71 Buick Centurion convertible for sale on Bring a Trailer. Man, I wonder if it's got the 455 in it. I bet it does. 71 model? Yes. I bet it does have the 4. If it doesn't have the 455, I wouldn't even look at it. To me, the whole point of having a Buick is having the cubic inches that come with it. I don't want a Buick with a small block in it. What is the Bring a Trailer website? It's a website where you can buy cars. Basically, people put cars for sale and other things, and it's called Bring a Trailer because you need to bring a trailer to load it up and haul it home. It's been a minute since I've... Ooh, it does. It has the optional 455 Stage 1. Stage 1. That means it has Stage 1 heads, intake, carburetor, and I hope it would have a high volume oil pump, or high capacity oil pump, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Stage 1. I bet it's expensive. I hope it's a 2-door. I probably won't buy it. People are saying Wisconsin votes today for early election. Joe Boo ever show up?
Not yet, not that I see.
Man, the one time we need him. Well, not the one time.
Right.
I had to turn on my air conditioner in my house yesterday. First time. It was hot. It was like 77 degrees in my house.
So, you're like me. If it gets really hot, I'm turning that air conditioner on. People are always like, I'm holding out. Yeah, I don't hold out for anything. Air comes on when it's hot. Heat comes on when it's cold.
Yeah. That's how I am. The moment I feel hot. I'm not holding out for nothing. Did anyone send him an invite? No. No.
He's usually here. He must be busy.
He's probably trying to figure out how to get that Tesla logo off the back of his car.
Probably. Oh, I'm me sent him one.
It's 48 degrees in Connecticut. So what else is going on? Oh, okay. Who else thinks? And I haven't heard anyone talk about this. So we now have new tariffs, 25% tariffs on all imports into the United States. Half the cars in the United States that are sold are imports. Who else thinks that this is a favor to Elon Musk? Why else would he do it? He's doing it for Elon Musk. Teslas are made in the United States, so he puts tariffs on cars that are not made in the United States. I think that's the only reason he's doing it. What do you think, Joe?
I don't know.
You think Elon asked him to do that?
Yeah, probably. Because there is another car, like you said, that's outdoing Tesla.
Yeah. And yeah, Tesla stock is up today. It's about the only automotive stock up today.
But here's the thing. If they'll buy a Tesla, they'll pay that little extra money for the better vehicle. They will. So it's not going to help him. And the people who buy the electric cars don't like him. They do not like Elon. They're not going to buy his cars no more.
Yeah, I mean, I never said it would work. I don't think it'll work if that's what he's trying to do. If he's trying to help Elon, I mean, a tariff isn't going to have someone, inspire someone to go buy a Tesla. If they don't want it, they don't give a shit if it's more or less. Like that, the whole price thing is out the window for people that just don't want one. They're not going to buy one.
Pete said the U.S. put tariffs on motorcycles over 750cc to help Harley in the 80s. I did not know that.
And what did Harley do? What did they left the country?
Yes.
They left the country, and we still have import tariffs on a lot of foreign motorcycles. Indian motorcycles have high tariffs on them.
They left the country, but they still were very popular here. So people still bought them.
Well, that's because they didn't know. People didn't know that Harley Davidson had up and left the United States.
I told many people that they were not made in America anymore. They're still buying them.
Gerald says, I bet Tesla will raise prices. I bet they do too. But they're struggling. I think I read in Europe, their sales are down over 70%. Don't quote me on the exact number, but I think it was 76%. I think. It seems like everything that's happening is like antithetical to what Republicans believe. I don't know if it's just me, but they're trying to control the market. They're trying to control who buys what. They're trying to control how businesses operate. Like all of this sounds more like something a Democrat would do than a Republican. Lieutenant Dangle says sales are down 70% in Australia as well. Wow. Henry Ford was offensive and it didn't stop people from buying his cars. Well, in those days, there was nothing wrong with being offensive. We just recently got angry at Henry Ford for being a schmatzy. like like we just recently decided Henry Ford was a bad person. But during his time, nobody cared. I did see a new EV yesterday that actually looked pretty cool. It was an Edison truck.
Yes, I just seen them the other day too, and they are really cool.
Yeah, it looked. I wouldn't buy one, but it looked cool.
No, I wouldn't buy one either, but it is. Yes, absolutely.
It certainly looked. It's still a little too futuristic looking, but it looks a lot better than the Cybertruck. It's a lot nicer, and it actually is a truck. 37-inch wheels and tires. But when I look at those vehicles, I'm just looking at all the stuff that can break that I can't fix. Of course, with an EV, that's going to be everything. But all of the solar panels on it, I never heard how much those solar panels actually help charge the vehicle. But it definitely looked better than a Cybertruck for sure. I loved the Canoe EV. They filed for bankruptcy. Yeah, so Canoe was in my state, in Oklahoma. The state gave them God knows how much money. I don't remember the number. And they failed. Yeah, the Scout's coming back. A lot of people have asked me if I would get the new Scout. No. Nothing against it, but I have a Scout. I have a real one. And I'll keep that one. That won't depreciate in value. I like things that go up, not things that go down. How big is the truck with 37-inch tires? Well, it's pretty big. Like, so when the video I saw, a guy was showing you the pickup, and he got in it, and he had to climb up into it because, you know, where you step into the vehicle, it's high. It's got 37-inch wheels on it. So, like, he had to get up into the truck. But it doesn't look lifted, but it does have a very tall stance. It's very bulky. It's nice. It's a nice truck. But it's a lot of electric stuff, man. Even the rear view mirrors are cameras, and it's got solar panels all over it that are built in, like they don't look like panels. It's a clean looking truck.
Yeah, and that screen is huge. That screen is huge in it.
Do you think gas prices will rise soon? Gas prices are up nearly 10 cents in the last 10 days or so. Gas prices are already rising. And they will continue to do so. Yeah, I love my Scout. It's not don't get too far from a gas station in my Scout. And also probably don't want to have a bad back and running a Scout. It'll beat you half to death. It's got the stiffest suspension of anything I've ever had. You feel every bump. It's a wheat truck. That's what it is. It's a wheat truck. It's just a really nice, cool looking wheat truck. Experts predict a total crash of the American economy. What's your take? My take is I don't know. I just read and track stuff like anybody else. I don't have. I don't believe I have any more knowledge about the economy than anyone else. But I do look at, the data that's given to us. It's definitely not improving. And even the experts and the economists can't seem to agree on what's going to happen at the end of the first quarter. I think we'll know a lot at the end of the first quarter. I am a little concerned, though, that they've come up with an alternative method to figure out the GDP. Like, why would you do that unless something's wrong? That is true. Used cars will go up in value because of the tariffs. Carney just told Trump to pound sand. I wonder where that term came from. The pound sand term.
I don't know.
Why hasn't Trump restarted the Keystone XL? Because he can't. he can't. He told people he could. He told people he would, but he can't.
Pennsylvania won't let him.
Oh, they've restricted my live.
For what?
Who knows? Because I said pound sand?
That doesn't even make sense. Like, you said nothing. I mean, we could have went way back to the other word that you used, and that could have did it, but I don't think that's too far back.
Good Lord. Yeah, we're still live, but it's now restricted. It means they won't put it on the FYP. Nobody will see it unless they click on my bubble.
You want to restart this live?
Bruiser says, the act of pounding sand is considered not only to be a menial task, but also one which causes no fruition, therefore suggesting those who perform it are somehow hopelessly mentally impaired. Thank you, Bruiser. Yes, I'm going to restart this live because the communists that run this app won't let me speak and they have me restricted. So I'm going to restart it. So I'm going to be gone for a second. I'm going to come back. And if you want to join, please come back and join. Thanks. People wonder why I hate TikTok. Thank you, Bruiser. Yeah. That was a great explanation, Bruiser. All right then.
Stupid TikTok.
Jill, are you wearing your shirt?
No, I am not.
What? What?
Not right now, I'm not.
You're not wearing your shirt?
No, I wore one the other day.
I'm not wearing mine either.
I have to wash the one I wore the other day before I can wear it again.
I heard they're still talking about banning TikTok. I don't know what's going to happen. Honestly, I I honestly, I kind of hope they do ban it. I kind of hope they do. Kind of hope they do. Yeah. So we'll find out. April 5th is the day. Um, yeah, I've kind of flipped on TikTok. I think that it should be banned.
I think people should stop trying to take away what we take away things from us.
Yeah.
If we don't want to use it, then don't use it. But if we want to be able to use it, we should be able to. They have no right taking that shit from us.
I agree with that too. And it, you know, I could just leave the app. I could totally do that. But the way social media is constructed this day, you can't not be on TikTok. Like, you just can't. Like, you have to be on TikTok. But there's a reason all of the big creators in the social media space, as soon as they become big creators, they stop posting on TikTok. They use it to build up a platform and then they move on. So, and it's like nobody's noticed that. If you go look at any of the big popular creators, they never post on TikTok. Maybe once a week or something. One of the reasons, like I hadn't seen Tennessee Brando in a long time. He doesn't ever post on TikTok anymore. He just posts on YouTube and other places, I'm sure. But
I'm pretty sure they're doing that because they feel like, it's going to go away anyway.
no, they do that because there's no. When TikTok owes you money, that doesn't mean they're going to pay you. Like, they just take your money away and don't pay you. Like, they took about $1,000 from me this month for no reason. They took down a video of mine that has about 1 million views, and there was nothing wrong with it. It was just low quality. So when I appealed, I said, hey, if this video is low quality, then why does it have 1 million views? Like, the reason you compensate creators is because they bring people to the app and videos get a lot of views, like all this stuff, which is what you're trying to promote. And every time a creator, what's happening right now is every time someone has a big video that's going to pay them a good amount of money, they just take it down or they just don't pay them for it because they don't want to pay them for it. So what's the point? You don't make a lot of money on your normal content, and you rely on those 2, 3, 4 big videos a month. Really makes up the vast majority of any income you do make. They take it all away. What's the point? And then they just ban accounts. People that's had no violations, they just ban their accounts forever. They throw them out of creator funds. I set up a TikTok shop for the t-shirt thing, and they banned it. Like, I hadn't even sold a single t-shirt yet. And they banned it. And they didn't give me a reason for banning it. They're so worried about censoring people and control. I don't know what they're doing, but they're not, I don't have to worry about any of that with YouTube. because YouTube isn't in the business of trying to figure out how to fuck me out of something. And that's what TikTok is in the business of. And, you know, I can get death threats and report them, and YouTube doesn't take it down. There's no rhyme or reason on how TikTok even operates. It makes no sense. So all of the reasons I didn't go to Red Note is what we are experiencing on TikTok. Anyway, enough about TikTok. So what else is going on?
Oh my God, there's so much I can't think. People are calling for Pete. Is it Pete? No.
Pete?
Is it Pete Buttigieg that's saying that? Who was it? I can't remember. Calling for let me think before I go any further, because
Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Who was it that called for? Just give me a minute. I'll think about it, because there's so much.
Yeah, Robert, tariffs on lumber. I think steel's already up 30%. I think lumber is approaching that if it's not already there. Home prices are going to rise. All of these things. Are you thinking of Hegseth, Jilly?
I am, but I'm trying to think of who it was that is calling for him to resign. There was someone calling for him. Well, there's a few people calling for him to resign, but I can't remember who it was. Crow. It was Crow. Representative Crow is calling for him to resign.
Crow?
Crow. Like the bird. I'm horrible with names. I am so bad with names. It's crazy.
You know, I might be completely wrong about this. People are calling for Pete Hegseth to be gone. Some other people are saying the Waltz guy is going to get fired. I don't think anybody's going anywhere.
No, I don't think anyone's going anywhere either, but they are calling for it.
I mean, isn't that they would view that as an admittance of something, and they'll never do that. They'll never do that. Signalgate was a setup. Yeah, don't let it to possibly even potentially occur to you that maybe they just made a mistake. Don't let that happen. We'll just claim it was a setup, even though we have zero evidence of that and tons of evidence of the other thing. So let's just pretend, let's just pretend that the alcoholic who was a National Guard member, who is now the Secretary of Defense, didn't make a mistake. Let's pretend that all of the things everyone predicted when he was nominated for that position when everyone said something like this will happen, let's just pretend that that didn't actually happen and someone set them up. Let's pretend that because it makes us feel better.
Whiskey leaks.
Yeah, it was a setup. it's are we going to argue in semantics for the next 2 years over this? The administration can't even make up their mind. You know, we've had people from the administration itself say it's classified. Others are claiming it's not. And what everyone seems to be missing is that it does not matter if the information was classified or not. It doesn't matter. Oh, man. We have all of these people who are national security experts. You have Mike Waltz who's saying, because when they came out, and, you know, of course they're going to come out and trash the reporter, even though the reporter didn't do anything wrong. By the way, if the reporter did do something wrong and he somehow managed to get into their chat, that's still their failure. That is still their failure. There's nothing about this in any way, shape, or form that is not their failure. If you say it was a setup, okay, if it was a setup, it's still their failure. There's nothing you can say that makes it not their failure. Period. That's like saying someone snuck up on me. Like, you're our like last line of defense. You're supposed to be the keeper of the secrets. You're national intelligence. You're like there is no excuse that doesn't go back to they failed. They failed. If they were set up, they still failed. So many excuses. Just admit you failed and get on with your life. All of this would probably already be over if they would have just admitted they failed. And a couple of them have admitted they failed. But Donald Trump will never admit that.
Their fragile ego will not allow them to admit it.
You know, if anybody would have came out and said, this was a failure, we made a mistake, we're going to rectify it, we're going to fix it, we're going to figure out what happened, we're going to institute new protocols and make sure this doesn't happen again. If somebody would have came out and just said that, I would have never talked about it again. That's all I want, is someone to take a little damn responsibility, which we don't get it from our government anymore. It's all about trying to destroy the person that they put in the chat. And now they're pissed off that he released it. And he came out and said, well, I released it because you said it wasn't classified. So if it's not classified, what's the problem? So I don't know. The whole thing's just dumb. What about Mike Johnson on Grinder? I don't.
Believe it.
I don't care if Mike Johnson's on that app. I really don't. Like that's. I don't care. You know. To each his own. Whatever. I don't care. That's between Mike Johnson and his God or whatever. I don't care. I just want someone at some point in my life to take a little responsibility for something. That's all I want. Thank you guys so much for the gifts. I thought I reset my goal. I'm going with corn.
Corn again.
Corn. The goal is corn. Hi, Lorianne.
Hi, Lorianne.
I mean, sure, it's kind of funny if he's on that app, but I really don't care. Like, I won't waste a lot of my time talking about it. Making America Grinder again. Yeah. Put that on a hat. I didn't even know what Grinder was until recently. What is the deal with me learning what's the deal with me learning about this stuff as Republicans come into power? I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what edging was until until Vivek Ramaswamy became a candidate. Like, I didn't know what edging was. I'm over here Googling it. Like, what the hell are people talking about? I don't know what that is.
Googling it while sitting in a park. No, I'm not his wife.
We are dinosaur adjacent. Oh my God. Did you know what it was, Jill?
No.
You didn't either? I guess we're just old fuddy-duddies.
Yeah.
I don't talk that way. Yeah, it's what my neighbor does to his lawn, edging. That's exactly what it is. That's what I thought it was. I found out it was something else.
And Mary's absolutely right. Don't give a shit what makes other people happy. Doesn't affect me.
So, Jill, I made a video about the letter from the oil and gas industry. Put it on YouTube. It's doing very well. It's kind of viral for me. Hard to get a lot of views on YouTube. It's really hard. But it's doing well.
Mr. Glowboy's married. Buck, he wouldn't like to meet your sister.
What? Buck, thank you for offering up. I just. That's all I need for my kids to have an Uncle Buck. Um,
Hey, I had an Uncle Buck.
did you? Was it John Candy?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, Buck. Yeah, like you didn't ask your sister. Like, did you even ask your sister?
Oh my God.
What?
I'm just laughing.
Yeah. He's a great brother.
He said he just makes recommendations for her.
Hey, man, it's a good recommendation. It really is. I'm honored.
I would assume she is Canadian, which, hey, if you weren't married, right?
Hey, at least he didn't try to hook me up with his goat.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
And I never did get a picture of that goat. Yeah.
They never gave you a picture of that goat. How rude.
Let's see a picture of the goat. I thought goats weren't favored in Oklahoma. It depends on what part of Oklahoma you're in, you know? If you go to southeast Oklahoma, goats are pretty popular down there. Yeah. Goats and sisters and cousins are pretty popular down there. You might be sorry to find out Buck's sister is a supermodel. I don't care if she's that doesn't matter to me. Yeah. Yes, that is that part of Oklahoma. I can't say that word because I'm on TikTok. Um, but yeah, I supermodel doesn't mean anything to me. You know, if the sound of her voice makes my ears bleed, being a supermodel isn't going to help. So,
Oh my God.
what?
I'm just laughing.
Right? Am I right though? Like,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
beauty fades, stupidity doesn't, and no, I'm not talking about your sister, Buck. I'm not insinuating she's stupid. I'm just saying beauty doesn't mean a whole lot to me. I'm no spring chicken. If they sounded like Marjorie Taylor Greene, oh my God. Yeah, I would there would definitely be an emergency in store for me to get out of there. Jill,
Yes.
Did you ever use a friend to get you out of a date? Did you ever do that thing where a woman goes on a date and she has another woman call her at a certain time? That way, if she wants to leave, she can. Did you ever do anything like that?
No, because first off, no, that's I never done that. But by the time we were carrying cell phones, I was with my husband already.
Oh, okay, that's right. I forgot how old we are.
Yes. Yes.
We didn't have that technology back then.
Exactly. But I have walked out on, just like this is stupid and left, right? So yeah, I don't need somebody to call me and pretend like be all nicey nice to that person. No, if I don't like them, I'm just gonna be like, this is dumb. I'll catch you later.
Exactly. That's how Gen Xers do it.
Yeah.
Like we're pretty plain spoken. It's just like, hey, this ain't gonna work. Like this just ain't gonna work. I'll see you later. Like and it's not a big deal. I never thought it was.
Or you could be like, your voice is really getting on my nerves, but since you drove me here and I can't leave, why don't you just shut the hell up already?
Yeah. I need two things from you. I need a ride and for you to not speak. If you could
Yes,
do that, that would be great.
exactly. How about if I can suggest that we go to a movie where you're going to shut up?
Oh, I forgot. I did have a beeper. I did have a beeper. And I at the time I worked a job where I was on call 24 hours a day. And whenever I had to go to work, my beeper would go off and I would have to like leave right then. Um yeah, I forgot about the beeper. I had a beeper and I used that beeper. I had my cousin beep me one time to get out of something. Totally forgot about the beeper.
I was still with my husband. I've been with him for over 30 years, so
30 big ones. Thirty big ones. I hated my pager. I hated that thing.
Jones said dirty 30.
3030. I had a bag phone.
You had a bag phone?
A bag phone.
Oh, okay.
My first phone was the bag phone. The Motorola bag phone.
I believe that was my first one too.
I think it was like $7 a minute.
Yes. It was outrageous. But then after 7, it was for a while 7 p.m. Then it changed to 9 p.m. and then the calls were free. But it started out after 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Calls were free. But then they changed it to 9 p.m. because too many people were making free calls.
Yeah. I worked for this really small company and I would call my boss and he would talk like an auctioneer. Like And I'm like, dude, slow down. I can't understand you. And he would be like, $7 a minute. And I'm like, I understand that. But we're going to be here longer because you're going to have to tell me this 3 times.
Oh my God.
Because that phone call could cost $40. Like, and if you were anywhere near where you could get to a payphone, you didn't use the bag phone. You only used the bag phone when you were far away from a payphone. And
Of course.
and there was times, because I'd be out in the oil fields, and there would be times where I would literally drive 10 or 15 miles to a payphone to avoid the $7 a minute charges on the bag phone. I do remember when texts, they charge you like 10 cents a text, 5 cents a text. And I also remember the phone bills. They had to quit with the phone bills being paper. At some point after texting became a thing, because every text message would be on your phone bill. Like, I had a friend that had a couple of kids that were of age, and his phone bill would be like, I don't know, like that thick. It would look like an abstract to a property. And he would get like a $2,000 phone bill because they charge per text.
So this is what I did to my son. I bought prepaid, right? He got so much a month. And if he used it, he couldn't use the phone no more.
I remember the first text message I ever got. Do you?
No, I do not. No, I don't remember.
So I had I can't remember. It was a Nokia phone, but it was a flip phone. I didn't even know what a text message was. I'd never even heard of a text message. But I get this message on my phone. And it's like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm reading this, and I'm like, I thought my phone was asking me what I was doing. I didn't even know what a text message was. I was like, this is some crazy shit. And then I noticed that it was from a friend of mine, Martin. I didn't know how to text him back. I didn't know. I had never heard of a text message. I didn't know how. Once it became apparent to me that I had received a message somehow, at one point I thought maybe it was a voicemail that popped up on my screen that I could read the voicemail. Wasn't even, Anyway, I just called him. And I was like, Martin, what in the hell is that? Like, what is that? And he said, that's a text message. And I said, a what? A text? And then he told me what a text message was. And he told me how to do it, right? Because you had what do they call it? I don't know if they call it the 10 key thing, but you had to like push whatever number like 3 times to get a certain letter, And when he told me that, I said, why the fuck would anybody do that? That is so dumb. Why wouldn't you just call me? Like, what did you spend 15 minutes to send me a message? You could have just called me. And he's like, no, this is the future. And I'm like, nobody's ever going to do this.
And yet here we are.
I said, nobody is ever going to text. This is the dumbest thing. Like, I was so sure that nobody would ever text. Yeah, that was a big swing and a miss on my part for sure.
Yeah, because here we are where we don't accept phone calls, only text now.
Exactly. And the thing is, texting became very popular before they had like the touchscreen keyboard where you didn't have to hit all the numbers so many times to get a letter.
Yeah.
It came popular before that. So like people were beating the shit out of their phones to send a 3-word text message.
So before we got it, whenever it was that way where you had to keep hitting, my husband would get a text and he would hand me the phone. And I'm like, why are you handing me the phone? Now, I knew why he was handing me the phone, but, he was like, text him back. Why do I have to text him back? Because it'll take me 3 years, he says. So I did all his texting for him.
I never had a BlackBerry. I hated them. I'm a big guy. If I try to type on a BlackBerry, I'm hitting like 4 letters. I got big hands. BlackBerry doesn't work for me. Blackberries were made for little tiny people that live in big cities.
I have a BlackBerry.
You had a BlackBerry? I bet you did. I bet you were on that thing all day. Just weren't you?
I was not on it all day.
You wasn't?
No, I was busy all day, so I wasn't on it all day.
Oh man.
I left it on the couch one time and the dog chewed it all up.
Is Alaska going to drill more as a result of lifting restrictions? No. No, they're not. That's not a thing. The restrictions that were put in place in Alaska were put in place in areas where nobody drills. That's the part that Joe Biden didn't tell you when he was doing that.
There's a lot of parts that they didn't tell us.
Are oil companies stacking rigs? A little bit, not a lot, but like we're seeing rig counts fall a little bit, but it's still within the normal working range. So I wouldn't go as far to say that they've started stacking rigs. Another thing that's going on is there's a couple of new plays in the country. They're not giant, prolific. They're not like the Permian, but there's a couple of plays that have recently started that produce really good wells. So rig counts have picked up pretty significantly in those areas, but they've dropped off in the areas we typically drill. So it's about the same or a little bit less, but I wouldn't say they're stacking rigs at this point. We are losing people in the industry left and right, that's for sure. Thank you for coming in, Arizona. I'm an American. Are you Buck's sister?
Oh my God.
What is your favorite part of the oil business? Probably getting out of it. I don't know what my favorite part is. I mean, talking about it, probably. Talking about it is my favorite part of it. Someone asked about the t-shirts. Here's an elbows up t-shirt. This is available in my store. Link in my bio if you're interested in one of these. Do I have a video about Trump in Greenland? I haven't made one recently for sure. No, I don't really have one. I made a video about Greenland a while back. A lot of people think that we want Greenland for the oil, and the reason I made a video is because we've been trying to find oil in Greenland for like 50 years, and it's just not happening. It's not a thing. So if we want Greenland for the oil, then that's not a great reason to want them, because nobody's ever found oil there that is economical on scale. Like, I mean, they found some, but it's not enough to develop a field or anything or actually produce anything. I'm hearing it's something about rare earth minerals, but I honestly don't know a lot about what Greenland has in rare earth minerals. But that's just what I'm hearing. If it can't be about oil, because there's just not. It's not worth it for the oil. So I'm sure there's some strategic reason they want it, or maybe Donald Trump just wants to be able to claim he got a country. Who knows why we want Greenland.
That's what I was going to say. It was just him trying to be like Putin and to be a bully as well. I mean, the video he made the other day about
I had
fertilization president. That's what he called himself.
yeah, I saw that. I had a very early meeting this morning, Jill. That's why I wasn't there last night. I think I was asleep by 11 o'clock actually.
That's good.
I took a pill and knocked myself out and went to bed.
I figured you were probably busy or something.
So the fertilization president sounds a little creepy.
It was a lot creepy. I was like, what in the Handmaid's Tale is happening here?
I don't know what to say. Like, have I ever worked in the Eagleford? I worked on a couple of projects in the Eagleford, but I wasn't physically there, like working on site. I was working in the office on projects that were ongoing in the Eagleford. I worked on a couple of projects. I know a little bit about it, but I didn't spend a lot of time there working, within the Eagleford. Yeah, Nancy's great. Thank you again, Nancy, for the subs. You got some people.
Yes.
There's no telling what Donald Trump's going to want next, honestly.
So that's 4 that she did. 4 subscriptions. Because if she got Rosie, that's 4 so far that we know of.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Nancy is great.
Have I worked in Texas any? I've worked all over Texas. I've spent probably half my career working on projects in Texas. I've worked all over the country, but Texas is the place I've worked the most. Yeah. West Texas, East Texas, North Texas, the Panhandle. Just didn't spend a whole lot of time in Eagleford.
You even worked in Pennsylvania.
I did. I did a lot of work in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, North Dakota, Arkansas, Oklahoma, of course, Kansas. Did a couple things in California. Worked in Europe. I've not worked in Canada. No, I've not. I've thought about it. I just never did it. Never did it. All right, Jill, well, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you all so much for the gifts. I appreciate you guys joining us today. Once again, t-shirts in link in bio if you're interested in one. Also have them available in my YouTube store. YouTube might be going away. We don't know, but I will be on, or not YouTube, but TikTok might be going away April the 5th. So if that happens, I will be on YouTube. YouTube Mr. Global, or just search Mr. Global. You'll find me on YouTube. It's where I put all my content. Jill.
Thank you, everyone, for the gifts, and have a great day.
Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow.